The copy in apartment 14-inch. I used to do maintenance work for an old apartment building outside Cleveland. The place was cheap, half empty, and smelled like wet carpet no matter how much bleach we used. Most of the tenants kept to themselves, except for the woman in apartment 14. Her name was Mrs. Delaney. Elderly. Quiet. Always polite. She'd leave cookies outside her door for the staff around Christmas. Then one day, she stopped answering. Management asked me to do a wellness check. I knocked 3 times. Nothing. I unlocked the door and stepped inside. The apartment was freezing cold. Not heat turned off cold. Different. The kind of cold that settles into your bones. The TV was on, playing static. Every light in the apartment was off except for the kitchen. Mrs. Delaney? I called. No answer. That's when I heard movement down the hallway. Slow footsteps. Dragging. I figured maybe she'd fallen or hurt herself, so I started toward the sound. The hallway led past the bathroom and toward the bedroom at the end. The footsteps stopped. Then the bedroom door slowly creaked shut. I remember feeling annoyed more than scared. I thought maybe she was confused or embarrassed. So I walked to the door and knocked gently. Mrs. Delaney? It's building maintenance. Silence. Then very softly from inside the room, please don't come in. Her voice sounded wrong. Not weak. Not frightened. Flat. Like someone trying very hard to sound human. Every instinct told me to leave. Instead, I opened the door. The bedroom was empty. No furniture. No curtains. Nothing except an old wooden chair facing the corner of the room. And sitting in the chair was Mrs. Delaney. At least I thought it was. She was facing away from me, completely still. Her gray hair hung over the sides of the chair. Ma'am, I said. She didn't move. Then I noticed something strange. Her feet weren't touching the floor. The chair was too high. And she was taller than I remembered. Way taller. I stepped closer. That's when the smell hit me. Rotten. Sweet and sickening. I gagged immediately. Then the thing in the chair spoke again. Still facing the corner. You shouldn't have opened the door. I backed away. Slowly. My skin felt hot all over. Mrs. Delaney? I whispered. The thing laughed quietly. And I realized the voice wasn't coming from its mouth. It was coming from somewhere deeper in the room, behind the walls, like multiple people whispering together. Then the thing stood up. Its head touched the ceiling. I stumbled backward into the hallway. The body turned toward me in one stiff movement. Its face. I still can't explain its face. It looked unfinished. Like someone tried to copy a human from memory and got parts wrong. The eyes were too large. The smile stretched too wide. And the skin moved slightly like worms under wet paper. Then it took one step toward me. Its legs bent backward. I ran. I don't even remember reaching the front door. I just remember hearing those footsteps behind me the entire way. Slow. Dragging. Patient. I slammed the apartment door and nearly fell into the hallway outside. The superintendent saw me pale and shaking and asked what happened. I told him there was something inside apartment 14. He stared at me for a long moment. Then he quietly asked, "Did it stand up?" I felt my stomach drop. What? He looked toward the apartment door, then back at me, and said the one thing I'll never forget. That's not Mrs. Delaney. Apparently, 3 years earlier, another tenant had reported seeing someone too tall standing in the corner of their bedroom at night. They moved out 2 days later. A year after that, a plumber refused to enter apartment 14 again after hearing voices coming through the walls. Management blamed old pipes. But the superintendent believed something else. He told me apartment 14 had been sealed for almost 20 years before Mrs. Delaney moved in. No one stayed there long. People heard things at night, saw shapes standing in corners. Sometimes tenants claimed someone was inside their apartment copying them, watching them, learning how to move. The next morning, management called the police for another wellness check. They forced open the apartment. It was completely empty. No chair. No TV. No Mrs. Delaney. Nothing. But they did find one thing. On the bedroom wall, written in black letters so deep they carved into the drywall. Almost ready.